And here we go. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Carson Meredith with you on this Saturday night. Thanks for tuning in to Wave Weather Now. We're going to keep it brief tonight. There's really nothing too terribly pressing going on in the weather world this week. I am not complaining about that, but it's looking fairly quiet once we get past this one teeny tiny little bump in the road tonight, and we'll talk about that here over the next couple of minutes. Weather Geek on YouTube says, good evening, Carson. Hey, Weather Geek. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. Again, all in all, things are looking pretty quiet, at least for the next 4 or 5 days. There's a tiny chance, actually, for some snowflakes later on this evening. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, though. If you have any questions, just let me know. Let's see here. Donnie is checking in, saying hello. Good evening, Donnie. How you doing? Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Let's take a live view of E-Town on our SkyTrack camera. And if you were out and about today, you knew it was not the most pleasant day we've had around here. That is for sure. Fortunately, the drizzle that we were concerned about all day really didn't become an issue. It was still a little drizzly through about, let's say, noon. But afternoon, it lifted. The clouds lifted. That drizzle faded away. And it was a tolerable day. I mean, it was still cloudy. We didn't see much in the way of sun. But let me switch sources here. Look at this nice little sunset, or at least the end of the sunset, if you will, at downtown Louisville. You can see those clouds are clearing out. And that trend will continue through the rest of this evening, and especially as we get towards tomorrow. A lot of sunshine on the way for your Sunday. Karen says, good evening from Elizabeth, Indiana. Hope things are well across the river in Elizabeth tonight. Temperature-wise in Elizabethtown, it is 46. Well, in Louisville, it's 46, I should say, but most of us in E-Town and many other spots in Wave Country are still in the mid-40s, and we really just held steady in the 40s all day. It was one of those, I call it just weird days, let's just be honest, where the high temperature was in the middle of the night. And the reason why, of course, was a cold front moved through, and we've held steady in the mid to upper 40s ever since. But overnight tonight, we will see those temperatures drop once again, or continue to drop, and we'll be down into the 30s by the time you wake up on Sunday. A few Kentucky Mesonet cameras, mid-40s like we talked about. Thanks to our friends at the Mesonet down at Western, my alma mater, providing these views for us. They're trying to get cameras in every single county in Kentucky somewhere down the line. Hopefully we can get there someday. They've got plenty of cameras and stations that you can actually just log on to their website, by the way, and check out all that information. They are great partners to have. And you see the views are pretty quiet. Clouds are still holding tough, especially in central and southern Kentucky, but that cloud deck is slowly eroding. And we may actually see mostly clear skies overnight tonight. But again, there's still a tiny chance for a few sprinkles and maybe even a few flurries. And we'll talk about that here as we progress. Temperature-wise, we mentioned in the mid-40s. And you also notice the wind isn't too bad either, but that wind is going to pick up as the night goes on. We may see some gusts tomorrow, pretty healthy and out of the northwest too, so that'll make things feel a little cooler. Radar shows the last bit of the rain moving on out. Marion, Taylor, Green, Adair County, you guys saw some of that rain earlier this evening during our 6 o'clock show. We were talking about that. That is now moving out towards I-75. And all in all, aside from that sprinkle chance overnight, we're pretty much done with the rain. And some of you won't even see any sprinkles or any flurries overnight tonight, mainly east of I-65 in particular. Let's say up towards Jennings County, Jefferson County, Indiana. You know, I wouldn't rule out Oldham County, Carroll, Henry, Shelby. That little zone I just circled has the best chance to see some sprinkles or a couple of flurries. It's not going to be a big deal at all. Just don't be surprised if you're up late tonight and you do see a few festive flakes flying around. Let's zoom things out. I'll show you where that cold front is that moved through earlier today. It is well to our east, and it is a mess along the eastern seaboard tonight. There is the front stretching from, let's say, Pensacola, Florida, up through Atlanta, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Charlotte. It is pouring in the northeast. Quite a bit of snow up in eastern New York and Vermont and New Hampshire. That system will continue to push east and cause troubles for the eastern seaboard tonight. But all in all, we're quieting things down here pretty well across Wave Country. Overnight tonight, as we mentioned, lows in the mid-30s. Sprinkles for sure in some spots, especially east of I-65. We'll call it 34 here in the city, 31, 32 can't be ruled out outside of town. And do not forget, we got to spring forward tonight. Yes, this is the time change that nobody likes. Of course, I don't think anybody likes any kind of time change anymore. But this is the one where we lose an hour of sleep. So we'll go from 1:59 a.m. straight to 3 a.m. overnight tonight. So go ahead and adjust those clocks forward. It looks like our clock here in the Wave Weather Now studio has already been adjusted an hour. And it's not a bad idea tonight to also check your smoke detector batteries around the house, either tonight or tomorrow morning. And also check your NOAA Weather Radio batteries. Just kind of take care of everything as we have to deal with this time change later on tonight. But the good news is our sunsets will be an hour later starting tomorrow. 7:45 is our sunset tomorrow night. I am looking forward to those later sunsets, and I would imagine a lot of you are as well. High temperatures on Sunday. Okay, not bad. A little cooler than average. 50 here in Louisville tomorrow. We could see a few spots stay in the 40s, especially in southern Indiana. 48 in Bedford tomorrow, 46 in Seymour and North Vernon, maybe up towards Carrollton. Upper 40s to near 50 is going to be the norm. Beautiful day. Get outside and enjoy it. Just make sure you have those heavier coats with you throughout the day tomorrow, because as we mentioned, it's going to be just a little on the breezy side. And we'll see those gusts actually out of the northwest, closer to 25, maybe 30 miles per hour a couple of times here and there. But it's just going to stay breezy all day tomorrow, and that breeze is out of the northwest, so there will be a wind chill. We may technically have those high temperatures near 50, but it may feel more like the low 40s instead tomorrow afternoon. Everybody's quiet tonight. Everybody good? Saturday night, we should all be in a good mood, right? Of course, we are losing that hour of sleep, so there's that. All right, your 10-day earliest alert. Again, not too bad, especially for this time of year. We still got to keep a close eye on Friday, and we're going to dive deeper into that here in a second. Let's talk about Monday, though. It happens every single year where some of those plants start to bloom a little bit early, and then the chance for frost comes back in. That is very much on the table Monday morning. So tomorrow night, Monday morning, look at these overnight lows. A lot of us outside of Louisville especially will be in the upper 20s. That's right on the edge of maybe seeing a light freeze as well. Here in the metro, we're looking at around 30 to 31, so likely just a frost potential. What may save us Monday morning from a frost or a freeze is the wind. If it's still a little on the breezy side tomorrow night, that might keep the atmosphere stirred up enough to where we don't see much in the way of frost develop. Hopefully that trend continues, but I do expect that wind to die down tomorrow night. So we will have that chance for a frost and freeze area wide. Now, we may not have frost advisories or freeze warnings or things like that just yet, since the growing season really hasn't kicked into high gear yet. That's where the Weather Service bases their frost and freeze alerts, if that makes sense. Having said that, just go ahead and start thinking now about those plants that have already bloomed, and if you want to protect them as we get deeper into spring or closer to spring and eventually deeper into spring, make sure you start thinking about how you're going to protect them, cover them up, move them inside if you got a portable plant. Just something to keep in the back of your mind as we get towards Monday morning. Tomorrow night and Monday morning, lows in the upper 20s to near 30. Tuesday looks great. Well, Monday looks great too. 60 for the afternoon high. Tuesday looks even better at 67. But for my friends watching tonight in Indiana, it's your turn. Tuesday morning, 2:15. The statewide Indiana tornado drill will take place around 10:15. Just like we saw for the Kentucky drill this past week, no weather radios are going to go off. The TV will show the warning text and things like that. Just a drill, but always a good idea to practice that plan, whether you're at school, whether you're at work or at home. Make sure your family knows about that plan as we get closer to the spring season. Indiana tornado drill Tuesday morning, March 12th at 10:15. But there's no severe weather concerns, well, for the most part in this 10-day. And I say for the most part because we're keeping a close eye on Friday. Now, there's the chance that we could see a few thunderstorms on Friday. In fact, we could actually see a few showers as early as Wednesday. You notice on Futurecast, it doesn't look like a lot. Hopefully, we can dry things out a little bit and we can drop that rain chance Wednesday and Thursday. But for now, we'll keep a small chance in there Wednesday afternoon. Then again, on Thursday, what's going to happen is those winds will start kicking in out of the southwest, pumping in more moisture, and that might set off a few showers by the middle part of this week, but it shouldn't be a big deal. What we'll be watching, though, is this low pressure that is developing in the plains Thursday afternoon. And where that low pressure goes will decide not only how much rain we see, but also that chance for a couple of stronger storms here and there. You notice a ton of snow is what's going to be with this system, and the Rockies as we get towards Wednesday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, I should say. And there'll be that chance, at least on the warm side of this system, where we could have a few thunderstorms. Now, the timing of this system is still kind of in flux. Right now, we are leaning towards an early Friday morning arrival, around sunrise in particular. So 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, that's when the highest storm chances and the highest rain chances start to kick in. Could we see a few downpours Thursday night? Yeah, absolutely. But the Friday morning time frame is when those storm chances really start to ramp up. That could work in our favor. If these storms arrive Friday morning, there may not be quite as much fuel in the atmosphere to get a couple of stronger storms, but we'll still watch this system in the days to come. Highest storm chances early, maybe some lingering showers and 1 or 2 storms Friday afternoon and Friday night. But it looks like this system is not going to stick around as long as we had feared. So that hopefully means that the rain chances will continue to drop as we get towards next weekend. But that's really the main show in town as we go through the next 10 days. You notice next weekend is a little bit cooler, kind of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow, in fact, for St. Patrick's Day, which is 1 week from tomorrow at 55. And I've kept those 20% rain chances in next weekend and early the following week just to make sure that we continue to look over the data in the next week or so and we don't take out those rain chances and then have to put them back in. We never like doing that, and you guys probably don't like hearing us do that either. So that's why those 20% rain chances are across the board next Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, and into that following week as well. All right, let's see here. Jody is watching tonight in Corydon. Becca is in Litchfield and loving the warmer temperatures. Yeah, I think we all are going to. Having said that, though, the long-range pattern through the rest of March, it's looking a tick on the cool side. So we've got this nice warm-up as we get towards Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. But you notice we drop back into the 50s as we get towards next weekend. So it's just still going to be these little spurts of warm weather over the next few weeks before we start to get that more consistently warm weather around Wave Country. So hang in there, spring lovers. We're getting there over the next few weeks. Jason watching in Cloverport. Hope everything is doing just fine in Breckenridge County tonight, Jason. Thanks for tuning in. All right, gang, I'm going to keep it brief and to the point. I don't want to bore you all, but it's really a quiet weather pattern over the next 10 days. Just that little chance for flurries tonight, not a big deal at all. And then we'll start keeping a closer eye, really starting to fine-tune those details on that system as we get towards Thursday night and Friday of this upcoming week. Thanks for tuning in, gang, on a Saturday night. I'll leave you with a full look at the 10-day earliest alert. Let me get my name off the screen so you can see it. There you go. 50 tomorrow, 60 Monday, 67 Tuesday. And oh yeah, back into the 70s by Wednesday and Thursday. That's going to do it, gang. Have a great night. We'll see you on Wave News at 11. And again, right here on Wave Weather Now tomorrow night. Talk soon. Take care.